Hey, sixth grade, we're getting ready to start lesson 9.3, which is called Use Multiplication and Division Equations to Solve Problems. Yes, you need to get that in your notes. You need to write it at the top of your page, just like you're labeling it like you've done for other lessons. So 9.3, use multiplication and division equations to solve problems. Your learning objective for this lesson is, I will solve equations that contain multiplication and division. Make sure you get that in your notes. Our learning objective is, I will solve equations that contain multiplication and division. Remember that you can pause the video or rewind as many times as you need to so you can get all of this written in your notes. All right, we have two important vocabulary words. Our first one is division property of equality. This states that you can divide both sides of an equation by the same non-zero number and the two sides of the equation will remain equal. Make sure you hit pause and you get that in your notes. Our second vocabulary word is the multiplication property of equality. That states that you can multiply both sides of an equation by the same non-zero number and the two sides of the equation will remain equal. Yes, you need to hit pause, and yes, you need to get that in your notes. So, in our last lessons, we learned how to solve addition equations by subtracting, and we learned how to solve subtraction equations by adding. And it sounded all backwards and confusing. Well, in this lesson, we're going to learn how to solve multiplication equations by dividing and how to solve division equations by multiplying. It sounds kind of crazy. Yes, I know, trust me. But it'll make sense when we are done with this lesson. Start with solving a couple of multiplication equations. In order to solve these multiplication equations, we will have to use the division property of equality. So here we have 7x, so 7 times x equals 119. Well, we have to figure out some way to get this x all by itself. So we have to divide both sides of the equal sign by 7, just like this. And yes, you need to get this in your notes. So 7x divided by 7, we know that the 7's cancel out. We're going to bring down the x just like we did in our past lessons, and we're going to have x equals something. Well, if you divide 119 by 7, 7 goes into 11 once, minus 7. 11 minus 7 is 4. We bring down our 9, and 7 goes into 49 7 times. 7 times 7 equals 49. So that means that our x is equal to 17. Now we can go back and check our work by substituting our answer, 17, for the x, like this. Let's see, we could do 7 times 17 equals 119. Well, let's see. I'm going to come over here, right, because I prefer vertically doing my math. Whoops. All right, 17 times 7, right? 7 times 7 equals 49. So we're going to put our 9 here, carry the 4. 7 times 1 is 7, plus 4 gets us 11. So that means that yes, 17 is the correct solution for this equation. Another equation we're going to solve is going to be a little bit more of a real-world problem. Let's say you're babysitting for your neighbors and you earn $33 for 2.4 hours of babysitting, okay? You want to find out how much money you made per hour. See if you made very good money or not. So you could set it up like this. 2.4 x, so 2.4 times x equals 33. Okay, so far so good. Make sure you are getting all of this in your notes. Make sure you've got the last equation in your notes. All right, so we have to divide both sides of the equation by 2.4 so that we can isolate the variable, so that we can get x all by itself. So I'm going to draw my line through the middle of the equation, or equal sign. So I remember to do the same thing on both sides, and I'm going to divide both sides of the equation by 2.4 and 2.4. Now, on this left side, our 2.4's cancel each other out, which means that we just need to bring the x down, because x is going to equal whatever is on the right side of our equation. And now you need to take $33 and divide it by 2.4. Okay, and remember to put your decimal point and put some zeros back there. Divided by 2.4. Remember how if you move your decimal over one place, you move it over one place, and then move your decimal up to the quotient. And then you go on ahead and you solve that thing. I'll tell you the answer for the sake of time. $33 divided by 2.4 hours means you earned $13.75 per hour. You guys, that is a pretty good haul. Oh my goodness. So you just earned $13.75 per hour, which winds up being $33 for babysitting 2.4 hours. Now we're going to try a couple of division equations. And once again, make sure you guys get this in your notes. And to solve our division equations, we have to use the multiplication property of equality. So here we have our little equation, x divided by 6 equals 9. And we need to find the value of x. So we have to multiply both sides of the equation by the same non-zero number so that we can get x all by itself, so we can isolate the variable. So we will multiply both sides of the equation times 6. We have to use a number that is going to cancel out over here so we can get x by itself. And our 6's cancel each other out. Bring that x down, and you have x equals, and 9 times 6, well, we should know that that is 54. So x equals 54. You can substitute 54 in for the x, and 54 divided by 6 still equals 9. So we know that 54 is the correct solution for this equation. Okay, for our last division equation that we are going to solve together, we're going to try something a little more real-world style for you. So you need to pretend that your washing machine at home breaks and you have no way to do laundry at home. But you run into this problem of, oh my goodness, you don't have your soccer uniform and a few other things that you need to have. So you have to go to the laundromat to do some of your loads of laundry. So you're going to grab your quarters, you're going to grab your laundry and your detergent, and you're going to take off for the laundromat. So when you get there, you realize that you have exactly the correct number of quarters to do 3 loads of laundry. It takes 8 quarters to wash 1 load. Holy cow, that's highway robbery, people. So how many quarters do you have jingling around in your pocket? So you have X number of quarters, and whatever that number is going to be divided by 3 for your 3 loads. and it's going to equal 8 because you need 8/4 per load. So split this equation right down the middle of that equal sign, and you have to multiply both sides of the equation by the same number so that you can isolate x. So we will multiply both sides of this equation by 3 so that we can get x all by its lonesome self. So 3 and 3 cancel out. We carry the x down. X will equal 8 times 3, which is 24. That means you had 24 quarters that were jingling around in your pocket while you were trying to get everything to the laundromat. And hopefully you have gotten all of that in your notes, and now I have a couple of equations that I want you to solve on your own. Yes, you need to get these in your notes, so here you go. There's just 2 of them. You have to put coffee mugs on the shelves of the coffee shop where you've just gotten a job. There are 84 mugs, and only 6 mugs fit on each of the decorative shelves behind the cash register. How many shelves will you fill with mugs? There's your first one. The second problem you need to solve, you are making bracelets and you're only using string and beads, nothing fancy. You have X centimeters of string and you made 7 bracelets. You used 17.8 centimeters of string for each bracelet. How much string did you use in all? Remember to show all of your work. Remember that you can hit pause and rewind as many times as you need to. And I will see y'all later.